this year, the Bulldogs have been tremendous. Almost 50%. 54% of the time, Utah State's opponents do convert on third down. Lots of time again. To the right sidelines, Pickens, and he might have done a little bit of pushing off as he goes out of bounds at the 1-yard line. This will be an interesting call for the official. Pickens appeared that he may have pushed off on his way to the reception.
But if I'm a Fresno State player, especially Pickens, the receiver, I've got to say I was interfered with, because I thought Travis Clark, number 15, threw his hands up in the air in a face masking type of situation. We'll see what the officials call. It is going to be an interference call against Utah State, and it will be declined. Take a look here as Barsotti's going to just lay the ball up. Fresno State has a way of throwing a deep pass where they hang it up in the air and let that receiver come back. Look, right there it was number 22, in fact, Scott Munson, who waved his hands in front of the receiver. That is face masking, and that is a penalty.
So a good adjustment by Pickens, who is running backwards as he hauled in the 50-yard pass. Almost got into the end zone. First and goal for the Dogs at the 1-yard line. They've had good balance in their offense this year. To the right side, untouched, Kelly Skipper with his 5th rushing touchdown of the year. And early, just over halfway into the first quarter, it's 13-0 Fresno State. 7 for 68 yards at the 47. And here he comes rolling out left and looking downfield. Completely in the open is Kendall Smith, who turns it, and he is into the end zone. This is what Fresno State was worried sick about. The one-on-one downfield, what these guys can do, Steve, once they catch the football.
Well, they're so talented, and Kendall Smith is so quick. I thought he was going to be tackled on the 25-yard line.
20th career touchdown catch. This guy is all over the all-time charts. He's up around 2,300 yards in his career now as the #1 all-time USU receiver. And here we go long again. Barsoni down deep, and the catch inside the 15-yard line. Dwight Pickens.
Oh, this is going to be a long night for the Utah State young defensive backfield, unless they can try to get a little pressure on Barsoni. Maybe more importantly, just try to run with these guys. But Pickens is so fast. Here again is this bulldog bomb that we talk about. Barsoni will throw the ball up, and I bet if you measure this, it's going to come down in the 43 to 45-yard range. A high arc on the ball gives the receiver a chance to run under it, and a great catch by Dwight Pickens,
who comes into the game with 274 yards. And you saw the stat, add 4 catches and 115 more yards already tonight.
Problems that Fresno State had all of last year was that they could move the ball like crazy between the 10-yard lines, but they couldn't put it across the goal line because the running game wasn't strong enough. They've worked on that an awful lot in spring and in fall practice.
Gain of 2, second and goal. Looks like Mr. Touchdown is Rosette, and he's got his 4th of the year. So a wild one offensively so far here in Fresno. 11 minutes and 15 seconds gone in the game. And in a moment, the Bulldogs will try for the extra point to make it 21-7. The backs are in the eye. The give is to the fullback. Check at the tailback, Brett Payne. Last year, Brett Payne, as a sophomore, had Utah State's only 2 rushing touchdowns of the year.
Keep your eye on these 2 guys inside, because they're going to be in on a lot of plays tonight. Brian Greer, number 69, and number 54, the rover back, is going to make a lot of plays as well. That's Ron Cox.
Low Styles. Bulldogs will go with the toss. And being bumped out of bounds is Darrell Rosette. Rosette, a versatile performer who spells Kelly Skipper a tailback.
Second down.
Good yardage on first down. They'll call it 2nd and 1. Draw play. Fullback Myron Jones turns the corner down the far sideline. And he almost gets out to midfield, almost broke it. Bumped out of bounds at the 46-yard line after a 24-yard gain. Travis Clark, the free safety, finally got him.
look out for number 40, because this guy could be a highlight film if he decided he wanted to play every down. You see him, there's no hole inside. He bounces it outside. This guy's a fullback at 190 pounds with 4.35 speed. Legitimate world-class speed, and he's a fullback. Look out for him.
Timed at 4.33 in the 40 during spring football. Of 1988. Midfield position for the Aggies. Little play action, deep drop by Snyder, and see you later. Ron Cox, the 6'2" sophomore rover, number 54, right in on the quarterback.
We're talking about a blue chipper when he was coming out of high school. This kid is carved out of stone. I mean, he is tough, he's fast, and he can blitz the quarterback. He'll outrun anybody out there on the field with the exception of a couple of defensive backs. So if you're a lineman, you know you got your hands full tonight.
Washington Union High School here in Fresno to the game too. Didn't miss a practice, did not miss a game. Here's 3rd and 19, and teeing off is Ron Cox. The blocker held him for a while, but Cox got loose, and it was sack time. He came into the game with 7.5 sacks to lead this club.
Well, he's just too quick, as we said before. And if you are forced to throw down after down, there's really nothing that's going to hold him. Play action is not going to work. You've got to try to pick up 5 or 6 or 7 yards on first down.
With no interceptions. It's 3rd and 18. There's the bomb. The Bulldog bomb to midfield, and it's caught by Andre Alexander. To the 46-yard line of Utah State. The Aggies simply cannot get downfield quickly enough to defend.
Well, it's tough to tell whether they're playing a zone or a man defense, but poor Scott Munson is the guy that draws this duty, and he's going as fast as his feet will carry him. But Pickens is just down there 3 yards ahead of him, and the ball, check that, it's not Pickens. It's Andre Alexander, but the ball is thrown so well, and Barsotti knows it.
The World Series excitement. Welcome to Fresno. With Steve Rabel, the former Seattle Seahawks wide receiver. This is Bob Carpenter. We're in the second quarter of play. 11:45 remaining. And a key play early in this game came from number 31 of Fresno State. A 61-yard touchdown interception return from James Williams.
The pass intended for Kendall Smith back inside, and Williams stepping right in front, taking off, 4.3 speed. Nobody's going to catch him, certainly not the quarterback, Brent Snyder. It's 6 points for Fresno State.
Needs a scoring drive here. They faked a look in. Now they go long down the right side. Racing is Rod Moore, and it's intercepted by Jeff White. Up the middle he'll go to the 37 or 8-yard line. As Jeff White, a junior from Oxnard, California, has his first interception of the year. And the Bulldogs are well into double figures in INTs now.
Jeff White was an honorable mention All-America in junior college, and you're going to see why. Look at him track down this deep pass. The receiver just sort of lost it. And he sort of ran away from it, Rod Moore, but not Jeff White. He reaches high to grab this. Now is when the fun starts. He says, I got a chance to pad some statistics here, maybe even score. I'm going to try to find me some running room. And running backs for Fresno State aren't enough.
Here we come around the end again. Andre Alexander across midfield and down inside the 45-yard line. Toby Tyler, the strong safety, finally rode him down after a 16-yard gain on the play as they brought the end around for the 3rd time tonight.
Take a look from the line of scrimmage. You're going to see what the coaches are going to see, and the players. Here comes the reverse, Andre Alexander, who has had some fumble problems in the past, but boy, with the speed that he's got, it's tough to get a hand on him to knock that ball loose.
He's another burner, just over 4.4 in the 40. Jim Sweeney has some team speed out there. It's first down at the 43, and straight ahead is Kelly Skipper. Big run of the night right up the middle for the man who went 70 yards against Cal State Fullerton in a 23-10 win a week ago. 16 yards on that one. Kelly's averaging 5 yards a carry, 57 a game.
And he's got the big guys up front blocking. The foot speed of these backs is something to behold, and they're trying to take advantage of a group that is obviously a lot slower. The Utah State players, not a lot of speed up front.
The Rebels and the Aggies battling at Vegas. Here's Barsoni improvising inside the 10, angling for the flag, and we may have had a face mask. In on the stop, free safety Travis Clark, as well as Dexter Pointer from cornerback, and one of them may have grabbed the face mask of Mark Barsoni.
But what a dimension Barsoni can give you. Again, maybe not necessarily all the positive yardage, but the threat of his being able to run and sneaking out there on that naked boot. Again, Fresno State saying yesterday they want to control the running game. They want to be able to go to either side on the sweep. They want to be able to bootleg. And that's Travis Clark, the free safety. And yeah, he grabbed a hold of a little bit of face mask, I believe.
Yes, he did. First and goal at the 1 for the Bulldogs, who are threatening to go up by 3 touchdowns. The clock runs by the halfway mark of the second quarter. A touchdown earlier, the first one they've given up at home this year. And into the end zone is Myron Jones. That's his 7th rushing touchdown of the year. The fullback at only 5'10", 190 with that great speed. And when you're only 5'10", 190, Steve, it's a little easier to have your fullback jumping up over the lineman as well.
I wouldn't mind having a fullback like that diving over my line of scrimmage. Take a look, though. The big guys up front. Here's where the credit should go. But yeah, he had to dive, but he had an awful lot of room because look at all those red jerseys lying in the end zone. They pushed their guys back 3 yards, 4 yards.
Shut out New Mexico State and McNeese 90-0. Getting away from a tackle is Myron Jones across midfield inside the 45. Shaken up on the play is the junior fullback. But what a great escape that paid off in 20 or so extra yards. He got 25 on the play.
Myron Jones having his shoulder pads adjusted over there. I don't think he was injured. I think his shoulder pads got hooked up around the buckles of his helmet. At any rate, he just breaks right away from the tackle of Jeff Hunsanger, breaks it back outside, and now he's going to run over a couple people before he's tackled. The fullback with 4.33 speed out of Antwerp.
Kendall Smith to receive the kick back near his 10. Over Leiter with a wobbly kick that hits at the 15, and he'll get a great roll inside the 5. That's where Utah State will take over with 4:17 left before halftime. State 2 out of 6 on 3rd down. They face 3rd and 5 at their own 25. Snyder rush, gets it away, intercepted. Daryl Martin. He's the guy with the great reach at 6'3", 200. Ron Cox was pressuring. Martin picked it off, his first of the year.
Take a look from the end zone and watch Snyder. As he throws it, he's hit. The ball kind of flutters, and Daryl Martin, the big junior, is able to step in front and make the interception. Watch. We talk about how long does the quarterback have to throw the ball. He barely gets set up as he drifts. He throws less than 3 seconds, and he's hammered by the defense, causes the interception.
2 out of 7 on 3rd and long yardage tonight. They fake the draw. Cox unloads on the quarterback, and is it caught before it hit the ground? Another one for Daryl Martin. Boy, great pressure that time as the rover Ron Cox was all over Brent Snyder.
And I think Snyder throwing that ball as he was hit. He comes off the field, but he really feels that one, although they'll probably not get him out of the ball game. Here are the 2 wide receivers in the slot formation. Well, I'll tell you what, that's just a great play by Daryl Martin, breaking on that pass. Patrick Newman kind of slowing up as he's coming out of his break. Now take a look at Snyder and watch the shot he gets from behind.
Yeah, he got it in Omaha last year when the baseball Bulldogs were part of the College World Series. And into the end zone, touchdown. Dwight Pickens right to the flag. Barsoni just popped it up over everyone, and Dwight Pickens nabs it for an 18-yard touchdown catch.
Boy, if you're a receiver, you've got to love playing in an offense like this, as is Dwight Pickens as he gets the high fives coming off. Watch Barsoni. Over the top. This is a difficult pass to throw, that little alley-oop pass. First of all, it's not so little. That's a long way to throw the ball, but right on the money. Just a perfect spot in the end zone. If Pickens can't get to it, the defensive back can't. Holy mackerel, get up high.
For the Cats, Aggies have got to get something going here. It won't happen with the tailback Demetrius Brown, a 5'8" junior, who we see for the first time tonight averaging 3 yards a carry. And it has been in many respects a miserable night for the Aggies as we index it.
Boy, look at that. They've thrown interceptions, that being the turnovers. They've given up some sacks, and that doesn't count the number of times that Snyder's been able to get the pass off and still taking a shot. There's the quarterback hurries, drop passes, and of course, with no rushing game, you can't keep Fresno State honest. It's a long night.
It was the first ever Utah State All-American. Kicking the football away here is Lance Oberparleiter. Utah State hoping it goes into the end zone, and does it. Inside the 1, they've downed it. The last man to knock it down was James Williams, a cornerback on the special teams. Utah State in big trouble, and back to the studio. There could be a lot of changes before this thing's over. 1st and 10 at the 31, and Snyder airs it out right side, and a diving defensive play, and again the reach of 6'3", 200 junior Daryl Martin, the largest secondary man at Fresno State since Anthony Washington. In fact, last week, Cal State Fullerton head coach Gene Murphy called this guy the biggest cornerback in the world.
And he is able to reach in and knock that ball down. Kendall Smith, I gotta think Kendall maybe was getting a little tired on that play because he sort of fell away from that football as Daryl Martin was off his back foot, falling away. You got no control of that.
Giroli got there first, and the sack is finished off. 93 is Willie Howard. 44 is Blair Holloway, but credit 77 Nick Ruggiero as the man who destroyed the play.
And Bob, credit the secondary of Fresno State because they just did not give Brent Snyder anybody to throw the football to. He's looking. He looks 3 different ways. He probably checked off to 4 receivers because he's that good a quarterback. In by a long shot, probably.
1st and 10 at the 5, so the Aggies with a long way to go. They got 3 their last time down the field. And this could be safety time. Yes, it is for 2 points. Looks like Tracy Rogers, 45, the strong side linebacker, blindsided Brent Snyder, who had little time and no room.
Tracy Rogers is a real blitzer. I mean, that's what this linebacker loves to do. And Brent Snyder with his back turned to him, there's no way he can possibly see this guy coming. There must have been a miscue up on the offensive front. Nobody even touched Tracy Rogers.
So it's 37-10.
Smarts on that, but oh, he's a very intelligent young man.
1st and 10 at the 38. Deep drop. Nothing open downfield, and getting to him was Blair Holloway. Yeah, he got good yardage that time. It's 2nd and 5 at the 17. Snyder rifles it left side and almost intercepted, and possibly with a chance to go all the way, Jeff White. He timed his move perfectly.
This guy's got a lot of ability, too, because he was recruited by some pretty good football teams like the University of Washington. Perhaps they could have used him up there today. They wouldn't have lost to USC, UCLA, Texas A&M. We're talking about a highly recruited young man.
Jeff White could not stop Rocky Palomari of Cal State Fullerton last week, the wide receiver. He had caught 5 passes for 82 yards against White, so James Williams came into the game and shut him down for the final 20 minutes. That's why he got to start here tonight. Over the middle, intercepted. 42 is Robert Nobles, and it was right to him. His 2nd interception of the year. Turnover, and Brent Snyder and the Aggies frustrated once more.
Well, you got to feel bad for Brent Snyder. I just don't even think he ever saw Robert Nobles, who was a linebacker with defensive back speed. Look at that, he just hit him right in the hands with that pass, looking to try to connect on that quick slant. And now it's Nobles taking off the other way.
Tracy Jenkins, number 7, the intended receiver. There he is behind the interceptor.
Actually, a pretty good interception because Nobles jumped in the air, had to reach down to make the interception.
1st down. Ball is at the 46. Out to the right side. A little bit tall for Alexander, but what a catch, and there he goes. Cuts it inside at the 20. Finally surrounded inside the 15. The game-breaking ability of Andre Alexander.
We haven't seen all that much of little number one out here tonight. When I say little number one, he's only 5'8", 170 pounds, the senior out of San Francisco, but he makes big things happen when he gets his hands on the ball. Now look at this. A little quick hook turns into about a 45-yard gain simply because he makes the play, turns it upfield, runs away from people, spins off of people.